What's going on, guys? It's your boy Worthy Prince coming at ya with another Infinity Kingdom video, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to rapidly speed your progress up when it comes to leveling up your castle inside Infinity Kingdom. As you can see, the sun has just risen. Let's get into this. So starting off with tip number one. Tip number one is really nice and simple. Make sure you do focus on leveling up your resource buildings. It can be very easy to kind of not take these resource buildings seriously. You know, you're too busy focusing on other parts of your area of castle and everything. You might be doing something which a lot of players do, which is level up one of each of the farm, the lumber mill, and the smeltery and the quarry, just to enable you to continue to push these other buildings up the top here for your barracks, for your tier 4 troops, your tier 5, and all the rest of the stuff. But I can assure you that once you start getting to the later stages of the game, when it comes to leveling up your buildings to level 40, you're really going to hit a snag with resources because it gets quite tough. And keeping your buildings up at a high level is definitely recommended. Even my buildings should be a little bit higher than what they are right now, because I think I made the same kind of rookie error when I started my account, was I just didn't focus on keeping these all leveled up at the same time. So yeah, tip number one, guys, make sure you do focus on all of your resource buildings and level them up, because daily they are going to produce an absolute ton of resources inside your castle, and that also goes for the gold as well. Make sure your dwellings are all maxed out as high as your castle level can go, because gold is very, very important. And that's going to take us on to tip number two. Okay, tip number two, talking about gold. Gold is really important. It's literally one of the most difficult resources to gain inside the game. One thing you're going to need gold for is leveling up your dragons. Dragons, you know, obviously like shiny things, right? So dragons do take a lot of gold to upgrade. I think this upgrade I've done here, which is level 33 dragon, was around about 13 million gold to do that jump from 32 to 33. Not only do the dragons require a lot of gold to level up, but when you go into your immortals and you look to level up this, you look at the shield on the top right hand corner, you can see that Harold here is 18. When it comes to jumping him up to level 19, again it's around about 12 or 11 million gold, something like that, per immortal to get up to like level 19, and then more gold for level 20. So what I'm saying is you're going to need a lot of gold to level up your immortals as well as your dragons. So if in your items, if you do get any chests from events, you know, the ones that ask you to choose what resource you want to get, always select gold. Okay, don't ever choose anything else other than gold, and just keep saving it up and use it for your upgrades. But yeah, that's basically tip number two. Make sure you always choose gold when you get asked what resource you want, because you're going to need a lot of it. Moving on to tip number three. Tip number three is to do with your castle. Okay, it's something that can get overlooked quite easily, all right? But if you click on your castle, you can see there's some options that come up at the bottom here. One of them is the Assign tab. Click on this, and it's going to take you through to an area where you can actually put your immortals inside your castle to give you extra boosts, which is really, really cool. Like for production, for example, you're getting loads of extra production speed on your resource buildings, 20% each there, which is rather tasty. Going into military, you can see I'm getting a whole bunch more training speed and recovery speed from healing here as well. So again, this really helps me out a lot with these extra boosts. And technology will be for research and building speed, an extra 20% by putting these 3 immortals in. So don't forget to assign your immortals in here to give you those extra in-castle boosts, because they really help out a lot. On to number 4. Tip number 4 is your academy. Okay, when you first start your game, you're going to be presented with 4 different sections of research, and it's always the question you ask yourself: which one do I do? Do I go into production? Do I go into troops? What's going to be the more beneficial thing for me to start off with? I would definitely recommend right at the start diving into production and getting speedy construction up as high as you can get it, because a lot of your initial starting progress is going to be leveling up your buildings. So speedy construction will definitely help you. You can see I've got mine at level 9. That's giving me 27%, and that's really helping me out a lot of the later stages. But yeah, get a speedy construction done. Also definitely worth doing some of these as well, like for wood production, stone production, making your resource buildings do more for you. Extension means they're going to hold that bit more, so if you're further away from the game for a longer period of time, when you wake up in the morning, for example, you'll have more resources available to collect, which is really nice. And you can do the same thing for the gold as well. The further you go down, however, these ones here do make you gather quicker, which, you know, are important too, and these ones here will make you send less troops to the tile, but in the initial stages when you're trying to build up quickly, I would probably just try and focus on some construction and some in-house resource production boosting. Once you get this up to like level 4 or 5 right at the start, next you want to jump into troops and start pushing troops as much as you possibly can, because you're going to need your troops to be strong, and that's going to take us into step number 5. But yeah, troops is definitely the one to focus on after you've done the initial production. Tip number 5 is going to be the well of time. Now, do not overlook this, guys. Like, seriously, do not overlook this. This is seriously important. When you first start off, you're going to be right up here, all the way down here, and you need to make sure you're continuously focused on doing this and taking it up to as high a level as your immortals will allow it. Because you need to get these unlocked, especially these ones with stars, to be able to get the rewards, the materials. You need these materials to level up your immortals, to get stronger, to be able to defend better, to be able to attack better, and gain power as well. You do need these materials, so do make sure you focus on your well of time at all times, and just make sure that you're always going as far as you possibly can. And once you get stuck and you can't go no further, you know, that's when you come out of here and go and level up your immortals, do more research, you know, improve your gears and do all that stuff to try and make you stronger so you can come in here and defeat it. But this is really important to keep focusing on. On to number 6. Okay, tip number 6 is something that I've learned from playing the game in the early stages, and something I want to share with you guys, and that is, don't waste your time in the early stages of the game building fortifications in your wall. You know, end of the day, the only time I ever go in here to build fortifications is if I'm doing it for a special event. If it's something in King of the Hill or an event that wants me to build wall traps, then I will build them for the event if I need to. But outside of events, I wouldn't even worry about building these in the early stages, because all that's going to happen is someone's going to attack you and they're going to be wiped instantly. So it's a complete waste of resources to put onto your wall. Later game, they're definitely something that do come into play when you're actually actively garrisoning your castle to protect yourself. But in the early stages, when you're building up, don't waste your resources on things like wall traps when they could be being used for things like building upgrades and research. But that hopefully will help you save some resources going into the early start of the game. Tip number 7 for early stages of the game is, don't waste your philosopher's stones. When you come in here, it's very, very tempting to start pressing the 1 philosopher's stone at a time, because you know that every 10 summons you're going to get a full immortal, and you kind of want to work towards that. So you keep coming in here and chipping away at it, pressing the one philosopher's stone every time you get one. Honestly, the best thing you can do is not do that at all. Just save your philosopher's stones up until you do get 9, and then always come in here and use the 9. You get 10% off, means you're saving a philosopher's stone every time you do it, and you always guarantee yourself a full summons every time you press that. In fact, if you're lucky enough, sometimes you'll even get 2 full summons, which is always very nice to see. But yeah, that's my big tip for number 7 here. Always make sure you use 9 philosopher's stones at a time and don't use them singly, because that way you're saving philosopher's stones, and that's always a good thing. It means more items for yourself in your account. Okay, tip number 8 is to make sure you're always hunting daily, because hunting daily is so important to make sure that you're building up your gears that your immortals wear when they go into battle. Okay, and you're going to start off with lower grade gears at blue, and it goes up to purple and then gold. But it's important to go through that journey of blue, purple, gold, because you're going to need the gears to boost your march up so you can go and attack bigger enemies inside the Well of Time and defend better and attack better. So yeah, always make sure you're continuously hunting to get yourself materials, just like this blue shield, this Skull Crusher Pavis shield here. If I was using blue gear, then I'd be equipping that to my immortal right now. And eventually you'll be able to take them up to like gold, etc. once you get to higher levels, like I've got on my immortals. But always make sure you're hunting every single day. And a little side note to this tip as well is make sure that you do go into your talent tree and use your talent points on things which are important. In the real early stages, Experienced is really going to help you by giving you extra EXP every time you hit a gnome to make your immortals level up a bit faster. And as you get further down this tree, there's other items which are really good, like Pleasant Surprise. That's going to give you extra, like double the amount of enchantment stones so you can level up your gear faster. And also, one of my favorites is this one here, Safe and Sound. It means that when you do hit a monster, none of your troops get injured. This is always really helpful if you want to try and hit a monster that's a little bit higher level, just taking the risk without actually losing any of your troops. So Safe and Sound can be really good too. So make sure you are utilizing your talent tree when it comes to not just building and construction, but also when you're gathering and when you're monster hunting as well. Okay, on to number 9. Tip number 9 is about immortals. My best advice I can give you when you first start working your account in Infinity Kingdom is to pick one of the elemental marches and just completely focus on that until it's like all the diamonds are maxed out and it's leveling up quite nicely. I would say over 75-80,000 before you even think about moving on to a second march. It's really tempting to go ahead and summon all these different heroes, as you can see on the left hand side here, all these purple ones that got summoned. Really tempting to go and do what I done there. The only problem with summoning loads and loads of immortals is once you've actually summoned them and they're available inside your castle, they are going to become available inside the marketplace. And of course, the more immortals that are available inside the marketplace, the harder it can potentially be to get the ones out that you want to get. So reduce that chance, or increase your chance, should I say, of getting the ones you want by not summoning overly too many in the beginning. If you're going to focus on water, then, you know, just get the water ones you want. If you're going to get Merlin, and just focus on refreshing those immortals in here rather than summoning every single immortal that comes along. Only summon immortals that you're really gonna use, all right? And that will really help you out to progress your initial march a lot faster in the early game. Okay, and moving on to my final tip number 10. Let's get it. Okay, tip number 10, my final tip for you on this video today, guys, is to ensure that not only are you hunting gnomes, not only are you gathering, because gathering is important too, okay? I haven't made it an actual tip, but you know, everyone should know, before you log off, send your gathering marches out to make sure they're always gathering. That's just a standard thing, right? Bosses, these are so important and can be overlooked so easily, but it's very important to make sure you are hunting at least a few of these every day, every single day, guys, because I'm gonna hunt this one right now because I want this. I don't have my strongest march available, but I'm gonna hit it with my earth march and see what happens. You know, it's so important to actually go ahead and hunt these because they give you these dragon boxes, okay? And inside those you're going to get your dragon gems. And if you don't know what dragon gems are, I'll tell you what, let's jump back into my castle while that march goes in. I'll show you very quickly. If we go back to the dragons, not only do you level the dragons up, but you're also going to be increasing their skills, okay? These main 3 skills here. And they do they stack up quite heavily. As you can see, to go from level 6 to 7, it's 2,500. From 4 to 5, 900. You get the picture. So yeah, we need to get these little jewels, and yeah, to get them you need to hit the dragons. I think I just lost that fight with my Earth March there. I don't think my Earth March was up to scratch for that big level 7 one. Actually, we almost killed it. We probably should be able to do it on a second march. Let's go and finish it off quickly. There we go. And I'll show you the report I get from this. In fact, we can probably speed this up a little bit. There we go, 14 seconds. It's important to come into the calendar as well and check daily, because you do get prizes for hitting bosses and stuff on the daily, as well as gnomes. It's worth checking that out as well. As you can see, we killed that one. If we go and check out the report, you can see I've got a blue chest, which is absolutely awesome, and I'll use that to get myself some more gems, and I'll show you where you do that as well. Once you get your chest, you can dive over to the dragon cave over here, or the trove. You can see I've already got one which is ticking down for another 2 hours. Once that's done, that's going to give me like an extra, it's like 50 odd gems, and this one's going to give me 50 odd as well. It's like 100 gems just off the back of those 2 chests. So yeah, you do it every day, it builds up, but just don't like get too relaxed on it, because if you don't do it at all, you're going to get to the point where you want to start working on your dragons, and you're going to be like, oh my god, I need loads of gems, and you're not going to have them. So do ensure that you do focus on those early game. It will help you out. Okay guys, that's my top 10 tips on how to speed up your progress and do things a bit more better when you first start playing your Infinity Kingdom account. If you have a fantastic tip that I didn't include that you should do when you first start playing Infinity Kingdom to help you out, then don't forget to put it into the comments below, and if it's really good, I'll feature it in one of the upcoming videos from Infinity Kingdom that I post. Right now though guys, I have something very special to share with you, which we're going to dive into at the end of this video, and that is the new alliance that I have just created in Kingdom 97 for the contention of legends. And I need you legends to come and join me. You ready to dive into this? Let's get it. Okay, so we are about 7 days into the event so far, and so far it's been really interesting. As you can see from these leaderboards, I'm going to bring it up right now. If we go to Alliance Power overall, you can see that the Ruslan, the red area, have absolutely dominated the event in the first 7 days. You can see the biggest alliance right now is 18 million in the first week, which is really high. And as you can see, it's red all the way down the board. My alliance currently sitting all the way down here in 8th position, which is actually the highest ranking blue alliance, which is pretty good going. But even with that being said, in the first week, it's looking rather daunting that the biggest alliance is almost twice the size of ours. As you can see, blue, if we look at the blue rankings, I'm at the top, which is nice. As far as my actual progress goes, my personal progress, I'm not doing too bad at all. If I go to the blue here, you can see I'm ranked 3 in overall power at 308,000. But again, comparing to the reds over here, 838,000. It's just night and day, the power difference. And if we go to strongest troop power, you can see right now, for blue, I'm currently sitting in 3rd position, 62,000. I was a bit higher, but I've just changed some immortals around today actually. And it's made my march better, but reduced the power a little bit, but that's absolutely fine. But you can see TWK leading the charge here with TWK members in the top 6 players in blue. Looking pretty impressive, but again, if we jump over to red, 105,000, 3 players over 100,000 in 7 days. Wow. And you can see the kind of marches these guys are running. It's literally earth, and really high levels too. So going to be quite difficult to catch them, but we're certainly going to do our best, guys. That's where you guys come in. We've still got over 3 weeks of this event, so if you guys want to jump in and start working on your account now to help us out, all the links are down below for you to download Infinity Kingdom and jump into the contention of legends on server 97. One of the really big wins we've had since we've been doing this event is the cities that we've been able to occupy. Currently, TWK do hold 4 cities, which is really good. The demand to join the guild has been extremely really high. It's amazing the support that everyone's showing to come in and join. In fact, we had so many people wanting to join our alliance, we had to make a sister guild up called TWS. And that's almost full as well. So really cool stuff. And if we take a look on the map here, you can see that not only do TWK own some cities, we've got one here, Ninsar, which we've built up to level 3, but also the sister guild that we've also created, which has got the lower power players in it. We've managed to get them one as well. Orkso over here, TWS, they've managed to grab that one. So some really good, really good wins we've had here by not only working on our own alliance, but also building up a secondary alliance. Here you go. This is TWS over here by the EA fort, and yeah, they're holding that down. Joker leading the charge over there, doing a really good job. So yeah, really nice. It's definitely a big win for us, the fact that not only have we made one alliance, we've actually made two. We've got like an academy for people to grow in, and hopefully eventually have them both as fighting guilds. But one thing that's really important about Infinity Kingdom isn't necessarily the ability to fight, but also to be diplomatic with your enemies as well. You can see we've got some blue territory up here, quite deep into the red territory, and we're actually able to hold this down. As you can see, we've currently got Chikomliko, and this is right in the middle of the red area, but they haven't attacked us. They've left us alone here. And a lot of this has to do with the diplomatic and the discussions we've had with the red factions. So we basically attacked their cities a lot. We kept making them have to come over and use their attack power to retake them back. And we just said, hey, until you start sharing, we're going to keep attacking. And we found like an equilibrium where we're kind of working okay with it. They still own a lot of the map, and we will be looking to try and take at least some of this back over the coming week. But again, guys, if you want to be a part of that and come in and help, like I said, you're more than welcome to come in and help. But ultimately, yeah, we're doing pretty well. We're doing pretty well. One of the things which didn't go too well for us just was the speed in which they were boosting. We were not as strong as those. We did try and take a couple of cities where we weren't quite strong enough to take it, and we definitely fell on our face with it because they come over and attacked us back, and it wasn't too good at all. But overall, we've had some really good battles over the last week. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm assuming the next 3-4 weeks are going to be just as much fun to play as well. And our alliance is doing so well. I'm really proud of the guys for the amount of work they're putting in. If we go to our member list, you can see, if I click on here, the word hyper just shows you how active someone is. If someone's logging in continuously throughout the day, I think more than 3 times. And as you can see, the alliance right now is, for the most part, all hyper. It means that everybody's active, everybody's logging in and making sure they're working their accounts. We've got the odd person here and there that is on active and present, but for the most part, everyone here is hyper, all active, all working their accounts. And we have various different players, from free-to-play players to medium spend, low spend, and even some high rollers in the alliance. And you need a bit of everything to kind of make it work. And it's working really well. We're currently up to an alliance level 3, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to change the flag there. We're alliance level 3. We're really close to being able to open up another research on the big family, so we can get another 10 slots open. So yeah, it's looking really good as far as the alliance is concerned. So moving forward, what would be our next long-term goals? Well, the next thing that's going to happen is the level 4 and level 5 forts are going to open, and I definitely have my eyes on Carpo and Centaur over here. Carpo, definitely we want to take this one. This right here is going to be one of our next goals, to take a level 4 and a level 5 fort. And as we're already down here in the south, it kind of makes sense for us to continue pushing this area up here and eventually go for these level 4s and 5s. So as you can see, there are other alliances already kind of stepping in to kind of state their claim, but indeed we will be going for those. So we do have alliances with a lot of the blue factions, and I'm sure there'll be some discussions to be had. But yeah, no, we will definitely be going for some of these level 4 and 5 forts, and that's what we want to strive for going forward. It's all about growing your account, taking the higher level forts all the way to the middle until we get to that big battle that's going to take place in 5 weeks time, 4 or 5 weeks time, and go for the world heart. And of course, try and grab that prize worth up to $10,000. Hell yeah. That should be a lot of fun. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the tips on how to grow. You can use those if you start your account off. I wanted to give you a good idea of how our alliance is doing in Infinity Kingdom right now in the Contention of Legends event. It's doing absolutely fantastic. It's one of the reasons why I've not been able to post too much content, because I've been super busy online playing in here. But guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a nice big fat like. If you want to come and play Infinity Kingdom on the Contentions of Relics server 97, all the links are down in the description for you below. I'll catch you in the next one. But until then, you know how this next bit goes. Stay safe, and of course, peace out.